Look, let's get this out of the way first. Ubisoft is making a lot of money. They're making tons of money out of microtransactions, they're making tons of money out of For Honor, seriously, and they're changing the way they do business. First and foremost, with Assassin's Creed.
Games as a service. Live services. It's the new AAA gaming hotness. You release a game, in many cases with a full AAA price tag, and you keep your customers playing for as long as possible afterwards. You can do that and you can make lots of money out of it with season passes, free updates, DLC, microtransactions, probably all built around some kind of live world or multiplayer element. It's the way to do business these days, and as far as French publisher and developer Ubisoft is concerned, it's the new face of the annual release. While Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed was for many years a game that came out every single year without fail, that stopped after 2015's Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The series, as we all know, took a year off in 2016, and then we got Assassin's Creed Origins in 2017. That was one of the most warmly received games in the series' history. It was a good one. And it seems that game has signified the start of a new way of doing things for Ubisoft.
You see, this is normally the time of year we'll start seeing leaks and rumours for the next Assassin's Creed game. The previous game is literally months old at this point, so it's about time we start thinking about the next one, right? Well, not this year. Ubisoft is concentrating at the moment on Assassin's Creed Origins instead of a new entry in the franchise. That's right, that's the sound of Ubisoft saying Assassin's Creed is no longer an annual franchise. Ubisoft CEO Guillemot told a recent earnings call, "We are concentrating at the moment on Assassin's Creed Origins, for which we are going to launch a few other DLCs. So you'll be amazed by what will come on Assassin's Creed Origins. That's the only thing we can say now."
Guillemot was making plenty of good noises too. Quote, "With more time to polish our games, we have been able to release 3 high-quality titles since August. We have fully embraced the significant increase in resources required to develop ever bigger games." He said that AC Origins is on track to almost double players' playtime compared to previous AC titles, while UB Executive Director Alan Core said it was the successful comeback of the Assassin's Creed franchise. So suddenly Ubisoft are all about polish. They actually delayed Far Cry 5 because they wanted to polish it and make it a good final product.
At least good, yeah.
At least good.
It'll be at least good.
At least good. And I think some of this comes from like the embarrassment of the eyeless character meme from Assassin's Creed Unity and stuff, where the games were a bit of a joke for a little while because they were so buggy. Assassin's Creed, you know, mainly. The games were just getting pumped out year after year after year after year, hitting diminishing returns. It was sliding in popularity, it was getting stale, and then full of bugs that people were just mocking. That's not where you want a series like Assassin's Creed to be, so they slammed the brakes and they're making a bigger project, and then they're making a lot of money off that by using it as a live service or a platform or whatever to, you know, get microtransactions out of your stuff in the future. Is that a better state of affairs? You know, it's a balance, I guess.
I reckon it really helps people get passionate about the series again. It's got all the merchandise, it's huge, but yearly iterations of anything, you can't get too excited about it. Imagine like your favourite band or artist putting out an album every year. You'd get bored of it eventually, even if you don't realise you are slowly getting bored of the same thing every year. It will happen, won't it? So if you put out one every 2 years, every 3 years, and really focus on it, you can put a lot more originality into it. It's just a no-brainer, isn't it? Especially with something like Assassin's Creed, where it's not a hugely multiplayer focused title like other Ubisoft games, Rainbow Six and For Honor and things like that, Ghost Recon. They're all like hugely multiplayer player mates. Assassin's Creed's about immersing yourself. You're the assassin, playing by yourself, so you need to spend a little bit more time giving players like a unique individual single player experience, and it's not like a live service, is it? It's a game. Take more time on it and the rewards will come. We've been saying that, everyone else has been saying that. They did it, it worked. We're glad this is happening. It'd be really stupid if it was anything other than this news, I think. I think they'd be making a mistake. Ubisoft also revealed a surprising piece of news this week. For Honor has 1 million monthly users and more than 7.5 million players in total. The company says the game is doing incredibly well. It's surprising because of the multiple reports in the year since the game released, citing disappointing numbers for the hack and slash fighting game. It could well be a case of Rainbow Six Siege style turnaround, with a somewhat turbulent and underwhelming launch being turned around into something much stronger. It could also be a factor in Ubisoft's new games as a service, long-term support, polish philosophy.
And while Ubisoft might suddenly seem really keen on making nice polished games that we all play for a long time after release and everyone's happy, there's actually a very big, very clear business financial reason for them to do this. Microtransactions. Yeah, we all learned this week that Ubisoft is actually making piles upon piles of cash from microtransactions at the moment. The company revealed this week that it made 318 million euros from player recurring investment, or in other words, microtransactions and stuff, during the last 9 months alone. That figure's up 87% from the same period the year before. Now, Ubisoft said this stuff is, quotes, high margin, so they make a lot of pure profit out of it because of low marketing and research and development costs. So make no mistake, this is a big part of Ubisoft's plans now and how they intend on doing business in future, making fewer, better, hopefully more polished games that players will keep on coming back to, and hopefully for Ubisoft, spending more money on microtransactions, DLC, and the like. So Ubisoft definitely want games with longevity now. They want people to keep coming back and playing them for long term, and the simple reason for that is that they make a lot of money off it in the long term. Like, they're still making money off The Division and games like that, which otherwise would just be dead in the water if they weren't like servicing it and updating it and making gaming, you know, getting it into the headlines with big updates and stuff like that, which is a long time after release now. They're getting people to still play it. Another route they could have gone down is releasing The Division 2. We'd be on the Division 3 or 4 by now, you know, with their old philosophy, but that's not what they're doing anymore. They're just trying to improve the base one and making money out of it through microtransactions and stuff. And I think that, you know, microtransactions are often given a bad rap. It's always like, oh, they're just pumping microtransactions at you and shoving them in your face. And I hate microtransactions when they're done badly. I hate them more than anyone else, I'd wager. I hate loot boxes. I hate being distracted and taken out of my kind of feeling of immersion or something. However, I hate annual releases as well. That's the thing. And if it's like choosing between the two of them, I would take a copy of The Division. I bought it when it came out. And I can exactly, and I can still go back to it, and it's relevant, and it's been updated, and it's better than it was when I bought it. I'd definitely take that with some microtransactions on the side over having to buy The Division 2, The Division 3, The Division 4 to keep up to date with the series every year.
If you didn't play The Division since it launched and you bought the game, physical copy, and you put it in now, you'd probably have to install like a 700 gig update or something like that. But it wouldn't cost you any money to do that, and you could still play the game with people that are still playing it currently. If it was an annual release, like if you only had the Division 1 and they were on a Division 3, you'd have to pay £40 to play with all your mates and stuff like that. Think of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. A lot of people were saying it's just a continued Destiny experience, but behind the £40 paywall of buying the game again. They could have added all that into Destiny 1, some people are saying. A lot of people have played the Division, a lot of people that play Rainbow Six Siege, and apparently a lot of people who were playing For Honor, are enjoying it now in its current state. People
they definitely weren't when it came out.
Exactly. Can you remember how big of a shitstorm For Honor was? We covered it all the time. It was always in the news for doing shit things, boycotts, player numbers dwindled. Now it's got 7.5 million players. It's killing it. And if they want to put microtransactions in that, people will buy it. But the truth is, people are still playing it. They feel like they're getting better value for money. People that bought Rainbow Six Siege and are getting all these updates for free are laughing. So I know games as a service and live services and things like that get a bad rep, and I'm not necessarily saying that we're pro games as a service. But all I'm saying is, in Ubisoft's case, a lot of their games have been quite good for gamers, and a lot of gamers, ask them, not me, have been enjoying it. And I think personally, if they did 1, 2, 3 games a year, then had a year break and just updated those games, a lot of people would enjoy that niche.
So what do you think of the way Ubisoft is taking its business these days? Is this how you want your games, or do you prefer having an annual release? Let us know down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. You can check out that video right there, right now if you want, and the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.